We're live. Hey guys, you're watching Tech Radar. I'm Basil.
Hey, I'm James.
This video is all about the Samsung Galaxy Note 8.
Yeah, not long now.
Not long now. Rumours are flying out left, right and centre.
Yeah, we know there's an event on August 23rd, so it's reasonably soon. It's time to start getting excited about it, really.
Yeah.
It's basically 3 weeks away, and we know there's going to be a New York event for it. So, yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be great.
Me too. Like the Note 8s have always been, or the Notes have always been the really exciting ones. And this time around, Samsung did something exciting with the S8s.
Yeah.
And released an entirely new design with the Infinity display and absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
So it's super exciting, super exciting. So to give you an idea as to what the structure is going to be, we're going to run through the rumors as they stack up. Basically run through the spec sheet and explain why we think the spec sheet is what it is. Then after that, we're going to take your questions. So hello to everybody in the live chat. We can see the live chat window. Quickly, hello the British Unknown, Elias Lazaro and King MD Atta. Hey, but now let's talk about the Note 8. So the big thing on the Note 8, the S8 and the S8 Plus is that screen.
Yeah.
What do we think we're going to see with that?
They're going to have to keep going with the Infinity display here.
Yeah.
We're going to see the Infinity display again, but on the Note version this time. But the S8 Plus had a massive screen, so are they really going to up the screen size for the Note 8? What do you think at the moment?
I think they have to. It's kind of
really
history dictates. It's always been the S, the Plus, or the Edge, and then the bigger one in the Note. The Notes had a curved screen for ages, so I think a curved screen's a given. A curved glass front, a curved glass back. You have a 5.8-inch Samsung Galaxy S8, then it's a 6.2-inch S8 Plus.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think it's going to be 6.4 or 6.6?
Yeah. So the rumors are 6.4 at the moment. I think that's kind of right. I think 6.6 is really pushing the limits there. And some people will enjoy that size of phone, but that's still, you're really limiting your base there where you get to that kind of level.
Yeah.
There are 7-inch phones.
But do you not remember when the first Note came out? That was like, no, it can't be that big. But actually now everyone's just like, meh, 5.5 inches or whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, and I think it'd be QHD screen. I'm thinking at the moment, Super AMOLED. I don't
Not
think
4K?
I don't think they're going to go 4K.
But what about the VR?
Maybe.
So like Samsung pushes VR harder than any other manufacturer other than possibly Google, and they're not really a manufacturer.
I'd say Samsung are pushing it much more.
You need resolution when you're looking that closely, and also AMOLED isn't as sharp as LCD by nature. Yeah. So I mean I agree. I reckon it's going to be Quad HD Plus. 4K. But I do want 4K. Like Sony's smashing it. The XZ Premium screen with its HDR, it's obviously going to have HDR on it because the S8s have set that. S8s have it, S8s have set that precedent. So yeah, I reckon we're going to see a really high-res screen, whatever happens, over 500 pixels per inch.
What are you thinking on design at the moment? Because I personally think it's going to basically look like a slightly larger S8 Plus essentially, and then you're going to have an S Pen and that kind of thing, and it's all going to be reasonably limited. I reckon Bixby button and that kind of thing. But what do you think at the moment?
I completely agree, and I don't think it's just you or me. I think it's the whole internet. Yeah. If one thing has been consistent with regards to the leaks, it's renders, it's how this looks, and it looks like a Galaxy S8 or S8 Plus.
It's not
a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not exciting, but it's also not a bad thing. That's
I mean, if you ask anyone right now who has seen all the phones out, what's the best looking phone? It's the S8 or S8 Plus. So this is just another best looking phone by the looks of things.
Yeah.
So the cameras. The cameras are going to be exciting because it's probably going to be the first time we're going to be seeing something new in a long time from Samsung. What do you reckon they're going to be?
The S8 camera was just so good. I'm kind of thinking they don't need to do all that much to the camera here. I don't personally think. Yeah. But the leaks are getting a little bit better. So is it a 12 megapixel and a 13 megapixel is what we're looking at the moment? Yeah, yeah. And optical image stabilization on both. On both lenses. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. That's one leak though at the moment. Yeah. We're not certain on that, and that would be a major upgrade for the camera if it's actually gonna.
It would, and it would be awesome as well because like what they're saying is it's going to have 3 times zoom, 1 wide angle, and the telephoto is going to be further zoomed than the iPhone. Now the iPhone,
impressive.
Yeah, which is impressive. Where the iPhone fell down, the telephoto was in low light, it had a worse aperture, and it just crumbled with that second lens. So hopefully Samsung will smash it, optical image stabilization, and you'll be able to do the cool effects that you loved. I know when you reviewed the Honor phones and Huawei phones with that blurry background, but also other cool stuff.
What do you think for the front camera?
Oh, it has to be at least 8 megapixels.
Yeah.
If it wants to be competitive, if not more, like the Sony Xperia XZ Premium's 13, I think, megapixel front camera.
Crazy.
So at least 8 megapixels.
Yeah.
I would love them to do HTC and OIS potentially on the front camera and autofocus as well.
But the Note series isn't really made for those people that want to take selfies. Really, it's not really, because it is kind of that more businessy kind of phone.
XZ Premium.
But yeah, that's true. Yeah, and you are also, you're looking at people who are going to be wanting to do video calls and that kind of thing. So yeah, a couple of different upgrades for the front camera is probably going to be a big deal. Really.
True, but Samsung's never really focused on the front camera. But one thing they're always focused on is a connection set.
Yep.
So like we can probably expect it to have all the things that the Galaxy S8 had, wireless charging, etc.
Yep.
Do you reckon it's going to have an IR blaster?
Maybe. I don't really care personally. I know it's a big deal for you. You always get really excited.
But like they dropped them after the Note 5, and like I always use them on the Honor 8.
Yeah.
So I'd like one, Samsung. If you're watching.
And it is something people really, like when it is there. People get really excited about.
It is handy if you lose remote controls like I do.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's quite a big deal. NFC, I would expect. Well, it's pretty much guaranteed as well.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're not really able to use Samsung Pay, which is the thing they're really pushing at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know what else really for connections though.
Wireless charging for that battery. Like you will have wireless charging, and hopefully even faster wireless charging, because Samsung phones have the fastest wireless charging around. USB-C at the base. Please, Samsung, I know you're not going to do it, but please give me stereo speakers. And if not stereo speakers,
do that.
Do what you did on your Galaxy A5 and A3 2016 or 17, where you put the speaker on the side so that when you're holding it in landscape, you're not covering up the speaker. You probably won't. In fact, there's no room for a grill on Infinity Display devices. But hey, and you're going to get 1 gig download speeds from that processor, which will probably be an 835.
Yeah, an 835 or the Exynos 8895 for some markets, probably. So similar affair to the Exynos 895 is in the S8. So.
In the UK, whereas the US got the 835. We've seen both processors perform really, really well.
Yeah, fantastically. Like they're two of the best performing processors on any phone right now. So Samsung don't really need to do all that much more there, really. No. Probably, 4 GB of RAM do you expect? I don't think they're going to go much higher than that.
Yeah, they don't need to. Like, the S8's proven that with that screen resolution, that power, you're fine with 4 GB of RAM, but maybe if they just want to flex their muscles, they may throw 6 in just for the sake of it.
Just to feel like it.
Yeah, and why not? And the storage will probably be around 64 gigabytes.
Yeah, and then 256 micro SD I would expect as well.
They've never gone up to the 128 gig like the Huawei's and the Apples, and do you think they will this time round?
No, I don't really think they need to. Personally,
I don't either.
Yeah, if you need that kind of, if you need anything more than 64 gigabyte, you're usually happy to then go out and buy a micro SD card.
Exactly.
And that's kind of fine.
And 64 gigs is more than enough for most of your applications and all that jazz. I think that pretty much covers it, except for the main thing that makes this a Note device: the pen.
Yeah, the pen. What are they going to be able to upgrade there? Like, the Note 7 pen was just fantastic, wasn't it? So I don't really know what else they're going to be able to do. They're going to probably bring in a few more UI changes and all that kind of thing to be able to give you a few new features with it. But in terms of the
hardware, you've got a Wacom digitizer under the curved screen with 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity. Wow. That's like just way more than you need.
I don't even know what that means.
I mean, exactly. The Surface Pen last generation had 128.
Oh, really?
And it was perfect. Like now it has gone way higher. But yeah, so really, really pressure sensitive pen. Clicky, so that you have your fidget spinner in a pen kind of around the back. But yeah, I just reckon that it's going to be UI centric, like you said. They'll probably want to tie it in with Bixby maybe. Yeah. So make the functionality, even though
that could be really interesting.
How?
Yeah. But they could play around with that. They could become a really interesting part of Bixby.
Yeah.
And Bixby's not really launched in, well, it's not really launched in English yet.
No,
so
not Bixby Voice anyway.
Yeah, Bixby Voice. But yeah, that could be a really fun element to bring into it at some stage in the future, even if it doesn't come as soon as the Note 8 is launched. Kind of thing.
Which hopefully it will. Yeah. Come on, we need Bixby Voice, Samsung. And finally, the battery.
Yeah. So the rumours at the moment are saying 3,300 milliamp battery.
Which is smaller than the S8 Plus battery.
Yeah, but if it's going to have a Snapdragon 835, that has consistently done well for battery life.
It has.
We don't know about the Exynos. The Exynos was really good for the S8 and the S8 Plus, so hopefully it will be for the Note 8 as well. They have to keep that battery small though. After the Note 7 scandal, essentially, that's probably why they're keeping it so small.
I mean, it isn't just the Note 7 scandal. Like, I don't need to go over that one, but it's also the fact that Note 7 had a smaller battery than the S7 Edge by 100 milliamps as well, because you need to have room for that pen. The pen takes up physical storage space. The cavity does take away from the battery, and it was only 100 milliamps smaller. This is a fair bit smaller than the S8 Plus.
But they must be, if it is going to be a 3,300 milliamp, they've got to be confident in it, because they are really well known for good battery life now. They need to keep up with that, and especially the Note line. So that I trust it, really. That's kind of my point.
I mean, I already want one.
I really want one. Like, I've never really wanted a Note phone that much, but the S8, not personally, I've never really had that much use for an S Pen, so I've always just kind of gone for the S range. That's kind of been my thing. But yeah, this year the S was so good that I wanted to really.
But the concept of a better camera with those image effects that you can retrospectively apply, you've also got a new camera setup, and if Samsung's doing something new, it's got to be better. And if it's better than the S8, then it's going to be the best camera phone on the market.
And it has to compete with the iPhone in a month's time. In probably a month's time is what we're thinking at the moment. In September. So they really need to have a win here. Essentially, they had a win earlier in the year with the S8 because the S8 was just fantastic
and beautiful.
But they need to have another win here with the Note 8 to keep pace. I think really
they're setting the pace.
What do you think on price? We got about 2 minutes left to talk about it.
It's going to be so expensive. It's always so expensive, but this one's going to be super expensive, like over £750 probably.
Well, the S8 Plus was more than that. It was nearing, I think it was 820. I think when it launched.
So you're looking at like $1,000 in the US or thereabouts.
Yes, definitely $1,000. I would say, like, unless they're going to do something incredible here, I think it's going to be
They've gotten to the point where they can charge premium dollar for their wares because they're banging.
And if you want a Note 8, you're probably going to not want to pay for it, but you're going to be happy to pay for it. So I don't think it's going to be a major deal.
So you're looking like at least 55 quid on contract with an upfront cost of £100+
Ouch.
And with that's what we think Note 8 is going to be all about. I mean, expensive as it is going to cost. Like, if we just take a look, so £749 is the equivalent of around $850 $1,349 Australian dollars. So you're putting down a fair bit for this thing. Let's jump into YouTube. I'm going to run through all your questions. We have got 8 minutes to do it. So
cool. If you've got any other questions about the Note 8 as well, be sure to just drop them in the comments and we will take a look at them.
Definitely. So Basil, what phone should I buy with a 250 with a USB Type-C?
Wow.
I have no idea who that could be. What? It might potentially be a Mr. John Porter.
It might be, but he's also commented here as well. So our colleague John Porter has just asked me that question in the office about half an hour ago, and we were basically saying that it's quite hard to find a USB-C phone for about 250 quid at the moment.
Yes,
they've just launched the new Moto G5S and G5S Plus, but that doesn't have USB-C again. Some of the Wiley Foxes do have USB-C. I think the 2 Plus.
So Swift 2 Plus.
Yeah, the Swift 2 Plus is our most recommended Wiley Fox phone, most recommended USB-C phone actually, and that will be around the same price. I think it's £199 for that, so that could be a good choice for you. Check out the review on
$149 on offer at Amazon at the moment. Wow.
That was so QVC.
Hey guys, QVC here. Right, so now let's take a look at
check out the full review on TechRadar for that. Back onto the Note 8 though.
Note 8. We're going to ignore the other comments and reply a little bit later to them. So 6.3 inches, some of the rumours. Some rumours have pointed to 6.3 inch indeed.
I just saw another question there about the colours. We did hear some word about the colours today, so we think it's going to be basically the same lineup as the S8 had, so Midnight Black, Coral Blue, or maybe a new title for that. This might be a little bit different. Maple Gold and the Orchid
Gold.
Maple Gold was for the S8, but it was only in Australia.
Okay.
At the moment, one of the leaks today showed the phone in one of the marketing materials, kind of suggesting that it could be a worldwide one for this release. Hopefully it's a really nice colour.
My favourite was Orchid Grey at the S8, so I don't know if you got a chance to play with it.
I did.
Like, beautiful. So that with even more like size.
So we're thinking those 4 colours in a variation. Some markets probably won't get some of the other colours. You just got to have fingers crossed, essentially, if you're going to get the right colour there.
Yeah. So John Porter asks, do you reckon the Note 8 has a chance of beating the P2's battery life? No. Afraid not. The P2 is going to be the one that got away because you can't even pick that up anymore. What's everyone saying? Better go for iPhone 8. That's contentious.
Well, yeah, we don't really know what's coming for the iPhone 8 yet. We really do hope that the iPhone 8 is going to absolutely smash it and do something amazing for Apple, and be the phone to buy this year.
But history dictates it's always been incremental with Apple. If they were ever going to break that mold, it would be now. But
so fingers crossed for in a month and a half time. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see.
Ahad said it will have stereo speakers, ? Guessing it won't have stereo speakers. You look at the design of this thing and it's from a purely kind of like where are they going to put them point of view. Unless they make the front earpiece a second speaker, it won't have stereo speakers. Hopefully we're wrong though. That seems to be a big one. A couple of you have said that.
Someone's talking about whether it's shipped with Android 7. I would expect Android 7.1, maybe even a little bit higher than that by the time we get around to that. But you're going to have the Samsung overlay on top of that, which is definitely improved in recent years, but it's going to look quite different to what you get on a Google Pixel as stock Android.
3D Touch, so that's one thing that's been touted around. It's going to have a pressure-sensitive display in its entirety rather than just the home button.
Yeah.
So I know it's already pressure-sensitive when it comes to the pen, but it'll be interesting to see if it's pressure-sensitive to the finger as well. I mean, I personally never used 3D Touch on the iPhone.
No. It's a feature that I kind of remember's there when I accidentally push on my phone screen a little bit too hard personally.
Yep.
I know some people, but muscle memory will get you into it after a while and you'll start to love that kind of thing. So it could be an interesting feature they bring in. How do you feel about the fingerprint scanner at the moment? Because there's rumours that it could be under the screen. We're not really sure.
I hope it is. I doubt it will. Like there was a rumour around Synaptech being the reason that the Galaxy S8 had the fingerprint scanner on the camera because they couldn't come out with the working technology quickly enough to have it on the front. That will make this phone, or the next generation of this phone, just practically perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
But I reckon it's going to be on the back off center.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the case. They're going to have to do something different to what they did with the S8 though, because that was the main criticism of that phone was accidentally putting your finger on the camera lens instead.
I mean, it even had a warning. I don't know if you haven't got an S8, then you'll not have seen it, but it has a warning when your camera's gotten too smudged to tell you please wipe down your camera because we can't position fingerprint scanners appropriately.
They knew that was a problem, didn't they, before they launched it? The fact that that's already written is the software just shows that they were like, crap, we're going to have to do this.
Exactly. A lot of people saying that they're going to go with the S9. That's from Sinisa Rizicik.
Yeah, we had another S9 rumour through today as well. If you check out Tech Radar, you'll find the S9 rumour just saying that it is going to be another level of powerful because that's when we expect the new Exynos processor. Another level, and that's always what we get every single year. But yeah, we're getting to the point now where it's just insane levels of power.
Yeah, we've got another chipset manufacturer that's pushing this power play too, Kirin. So Huawei and Kirin's brand, they're going to be releasing the Kirin 970 probably with the Mate
that's what we
10.
expect. Yeah. And that come at the tail end of this year. We're expecting kind of November launch, ready for a December release for that.
Yeah. So while Note series devices used to always push the forefront of power and make the way for the Galaxies, it's flipped on its head a bit now, which is actually it makes sense because now the flagships have more longevity.
Yeah.
So I think that is pretty much the bulk of your questions. Thank you guys for being so active in the chat rooms. If there's anything that we didn't get to answer, fire them in the comments section once this video goes live. We're going to probably trim the comments off at the end. But any thoughts? Also, we're recording this on a Blue Mic. Anything on the audio visual, fire through. We'll work. We're constantly trying to improve it.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, James.
Cool. Right. See you later, guys.
Bye.